I've been to probably every major country playing this sport, including North Korea.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I started at a late age, around 18, 19. When I was younger, I used to be in a gang, so I changed my life. So the sport of table tennis is what changed my life.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the very fast version of it.
Yeah. And then I guess that's very good to lead on, because I think so I've got a couple of questions to ask before sort of anyone that's watching wants to ask a question. I guess leading from that, who is like Wally Green? So I know that you're a table tennis player, but I know you also sort of own a nightclub. You also do some other stuff. I mean,
yeah,
I think you're maybe a singer. So,
yeah.
streams to your life, and what each one plays.
Well, I'm that I'm one of those people that people meet and they're like, yo, that dude is mad cool. I mean, I do a lot of things. I do music. I do hip-hop music. I made the world's first song about table tennis, first hip-hop song about table tennis.
What's that called?
It's called A Game Nobody Knows.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah. So I do film. I mean, I do a lot of different things. And it's funny because all the things I do kind of intertwine with the sport of table tennis, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't always like this. You know, I grew up in the projects in Brooklyn, in Marlboro projects. You know, at the age of 13, I already owned 6 guns.
Okay.
So I was a real gangbanger when I was younger. You know, I was doing a lot of crazy stuff. And they wanted to help me, and they paid for me to go to Germany to learn to play table tennis. And then that's how I started.
How old were you?
At the time, I was 18.
Okay.
Yeah,
And what age were you when you started playing for the first time?
18.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you were 18 and then...
It's between 17 and 18. So around that is when I first picked it up and I got interested in it, because I hated this sport as a kid.
Yeah.
In high school, I totally hated this sport. I totally hated it. Yeah.
What was your sport when you were growing up then?
So I was a really good basketball player. Like, I was really good. I played small forward, and I thought that was going to be my career. I thought I was going to go to the NBA when I was younger, because I was a beast at small forward. When I was like 16, 15, 14, 13, I was a beast. But then what happened is I stopped growing.
Yeah.
And as you know, a point guard is not even 5'7" these days, right? 5'7" is too short to be a point guard. So I just stopped growing, and then I figured out, you know what, that's not going to work. But I played every sport. You know, I was on a wrestling team. You know, I was on a volleyball team. I played Junior Olympics, volleyball. I played basketball. I played tennis. I was on a tennis team. So I played a lot of different sports. I was always playing sports, because that's kind of what, you know, I also grew up not only with violence, but in domestic violence. So a way to not be home and not deal with the abuse from my stepfather was to just join every sport team in school. Because if I could join every sport team, that means I would have to leave early to go practice, and I come home late because we're practicing. So I think that's why I became so good at sports, because that was the way to get away from all the drama that was going on in my house.
And I guess, like, on that, so with table tennis, for example, was it simply, so you met someone and they paid for you to go to Germany within the first year or two, or was it actually harder than sort of it seems to break out of that sort of gang culture and sort of the other sort of things that you're involved with to get into sport?
Well, like I said, I was always interested in sports, and something happened. I'll skip a lot of it, but I met this guy who came up to me and was like, hey, I'll pay you $20 if you play with me a couple of times a week, right? And I met this guy because I got some interest in the sport. I went there because I saw some kids at a pool hall and you know, whatever. And I went there and nobody would play with me, right? And so this guy came up to me, and then I didn't really care about the play. I cared about the $20, right? He was going to give me $20 to play with him. So I can't say no to that because I had no money. So this is a perfect opportunity. And one day I went to the club and a gun fell out of my bag, right? And I was always honest about how I was when I was younger. but for him, it was like a TV show. So he never could understand, you know, he probably thought, this kid's just talking trash. He don't know what he's talking about. Then when he saw it, when he saw it fall on the floor, he had this look on his face. And the first thing I thought was, damn, there goes my $20. $20 is gone, right? And then I was like, yo, I gotta go. Because I don't know if he's gonna call the police or what. So I just left. And the guy called me like the next day. The guy was like, hey, are we still playing tomorrow? And I was like, what? So it was kind of weird. So I was like, all right. And it was $20. So I went, I played with the guy, and then, you know, the guy wound up inviting me to his house where his family lived. It was like near these Hunter Mountain, which is like a ski resort. And his family lived near there, and to play with them. And I thought this was weird. Why is this guy, you know, a white guy at that, having me in his house with his family after he just saw, like, didn't anything I tell you before you saw the gun fall, like, hit you in the head? And the guy and then eventually he was like, hey, you know, I really want to help you. I have a connection in Germany, and I'm going to pay for you to go to learn table tennis. And I was like, all right, what is this guy trying to get from me? You know, I don't know. This is something.
At the time because obviously when that opportunity came, I assume you, like, you know, leapt at it because it was a great opportunity for yourself. But what did your friends at the time sort of think of that? And
I didn't tell anybody. I just bounced.
Okay, excellent.
I just ghosted everybody. I just gone. Like in the beginning, I was like, all right, this is strange. Why does this guy want to pay for me to go to Germany? And he did. He paid everything. Like I didn't have to do anything. Zero.
And then how long were you in Germany for?
So originally I went for, it was supposed to be for the place where I trained at in Hanover was for 3 months. But then, so prior to that, I had went to a U.S. Open just to see, because I couldn't believe that this sport had a U.S. Open. I was like, what? Are you crazy? There's a U.S. Open in ping pong? I was like, nah, there's no way. So I went, and then I kind of knew who the top players were, right? Because they had this book, and they said this guy's number 1, number 2, and I just started going up to these top players, and I was kind of like, I think I was more trolling them than anything else. And so I remember I went up to Waldner, I went up to Timo Ball, I went to all these players. I was like, hey, you're good at this sport. You're number 1. And so during that time, I had met Waldner, I met Timo Ball, I met Thomas Kynan, right? Do you know Thomas Kynan? He used to play for Germany, and now he plays for Slovakia.
Okay.
So I met him at the time he was on the German team. He was playing the same team as Timo Ball, and we became really close there, right?
Yeah.
So him and Timo, they were like, hey, if you ever really want to learn this sport, you got to come to Germany. So I was already in Germany, and I said, you know what? Let me hit these guys up, because at the point, after being 3 months playing, I was like, oh shit, this is fun. Like this is good. I can do this. I can do this.
Yeah.
And then I called up Thomas, and I wound up training in Grenzau. Yeah. So I wind up in Grenzau, training in Grenzau.
And how long were you there for? And also
for another 2 months.
Okay. And likewise, because you went there when you were, you know, fairly mature, sort of 18.
Yeah.
How? Because you're at a pretty decent level, or you got to a pretty decent level now. How difficult was it to improve at such a fast rate at such a late age?
So improving in terms of doing things wasn't difficult at all. The improvement was really rapid. It was really quick. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the great things about this sport that I really like a lot, is that this sport is the only sport that the most minute, the most minor change makes a big improvement. You know, you make one little tiny change, all of a sudden it's like the lights going on. It's like, whoa. So the improvement was fast in terms of doing the correct stroke. What was really difficult was the actual play. Was really, really, really hard. And the reason why it was hard too was because in the beginning, when I started playing this sport, I was like, oh my God, this sport's so easy, man. I I can beat these guys, man. I can beat these guys.
Yeah.
These guys are nowhere near as athletic as I am. I can beat these guys. And then I realized that there was so much more to this sport than just being able to make strokes. It was so much more stuff going into it. And it wasn't until I started making smaller goals for myself. Yeah. Because I remember just starting the Pro Tour saying, yeah, I'm gonna win this thing. I'm gonna win this thing. And I believed it. I believed this. Yeah.
And I guess, look, going on the Pro Tours bit, you know, a lot of people in the UK who know you because of your presence on those Pro Tours.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've played more Pro Tours than most other USA tennis players. So, I mean, how did that come about? How many of you played? How did you do? Like, why did you play so many?
Yeah, in a period of like 2 years, I think I did over 35. Because what happened was there's a company, I think you probably know the company, it's called Rockstar Games.
Yes, I do.
So Rockstar Games made the world's first table tennis game.
Yeah.
And the way I met them was I was at a tournament. So when I first started playing this sport, I was really crazy. Like, and that's why everybody knows me from the Pro Tour. They don't know me because I was winning matches. Mm-hmm. They know me because, oh, this dude is nuts. So I was bringing a different level of intensity to the sport. I was bringing this really ghetto gangster, like, come on, man, come on, you can do this, right? And that's what I was bringing to the sport. So I was playing a tournament in Chinatown, and this kid came from China, and it was me and him playing, and the kid just kept going Cho, and I didn't know what Cho meant at the time, right? He's like Cho and this and that. And I'm like, what's this kid talking about, right? And so I made a point. I was like, that's it, buddy. Send him back. I started talking trash, right? So I'm talking trash to this kid. We're playing, and Rockstar Games just happened to be there scouting people for this game that they were making. And so they came up to me. It's like, oh, my God, we love you. Mm-hmm. Do you know Rockstar Games? I'm like, hell yeah, man. Grand Auto? I play that every night, man. And they were like, well, we're interested in making a table tennis game. I was like, what? And it's like, yeah, are you interested? Hell yeah, of course. Sign me up. Just sign me up. And so I wind up working with Rockstar. And then always, you know, growing up as a gangster and being in a gang, I always was able to look at a bigger picture. I always had a bigger picture in mind. Yeah. I always had a bigger picture. I don't do anything just to do it without thinking of a bigger picture. So when they came up to me, I didn't ask for no money. They asked another person. I'm not going to mention his name.
No.
But they asked another person. The person was like, well, how much is it going to pay? And I didn't care about the money because I thought, I want to play this sport. And if I do this, then I can hit them up for sponsorship, right? Yeah. So I didn't ask for any money. They offered the money. I said yes. I probably got ripped off because I should get royalties for the sport. But at that time, it was fine. I didn't care.
I think pretty much everyone. So what did that involve? Like, were you wearing like the whole green screen?
Yeah.
Because everyone's played that game. Everyone who plays table played that game. Rockstar.
Yeah. So I'm the default motion of every character in that game. And and then they brought in some people to change it up a little bit, like the penal dive. And so anyway, after that, I said, hey, I really want to play the Pro Tour. That's what I told them. And I looked at the ITTF and I saw how where each Pro Tour was, and then I did a budget of how much it would cost. And then I showed it to them, and they gave me $100,000 for 2 years just to play table tennis. I was like, what? I got all this money? I said, oh, I'm living the table tennis dream right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Played every Pro Tour, everyone I could go to, I was there playing.
No, that's excellent. And I mean, as well as your presence on the international scene, did you ever, or do you currently play, the USA tournaments? How is their structure? Like, do you play domestically?
So what happened was when I first started, I played a lot of US tournaments.
Okay.
Like I was just addicted to. I was just crazy because once I started playing this sport, and it was so difficult, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta beat this. I gotta do this. So it became an addiction. Like I was spending every day, all day at the table tennis club. I would not leave there. And I would just kept practicing.
How does it work? Like, how does it work in the US? Because it's such a big country. Do you have like regional tournaments just in your states, or do you have like national ones as well? Or?
Yeah. So there's national tournaments, and there's a lot of local tournaments.
Yeah.
And there could be some regional tournaments or some bigger tournaments, but there's a lot of tournaments that are going around, you know, if you want to travel to them.
Yeah.
So I would play a lot of those tournaments. But then once I got a taste of what it was like to play Pro Tour, then I was like, screw this.
Yeah, I might as well play for the bigger picture.
It went from driving a Volkswagen to a Ferrari.
Yeah.
And I was like, just, you know, playing where there are fans and people cheering for you and you signing autographs and the whole experience was just amazing. And then you'd come back here and play in front of the same people who are playing the tournament. So once I was playing Pro Tour, then I wasn't interested anymore.
No, that's fair enough. What about now? Like, are you playing any domestic tournaments or Pro Tour still?
Now. So I had surgery.
Okay.
So I don't know if you remember, I was always limping. People thought I was being cool. I wasn't being cool. I mean, I am cool, but I was in pain. I was legitimately in pain every day. I've been in pain for years, and I never wanted to go get surgery. So 2 years ago, my physical therapist said, hey, if you don't go get your hip fixed, you will never play sports again. You will fracture your hip, and you will never play sports again. And that scared the mess out of me. So I got on it immediately. And so I had my hip fixed 2 years ago. And then I started training a little bit, but I didn't want to be indoors because I spent all the time indoors, just rehabbing. So then I went back to another pro sport that I played called paddle tennis.
Yeah. So what is that?
So paddle tennis is not pickleball. It is not pickleball. I just want to make that first. So paddle tennis.
I think you'd have to explain what pickleball is, because I don't think many people would know what that is either.
All right. So paddle tennis is tennis on a smaller tennis court.
Okay.
It's much faster than tennis.
Yeah.
Right. And it's played similar to tennis, but the team at the net wins. So you could have 4 people at the net blasting the balls at each other.
Yeah.
So I'm one of the best players in the country. And it's actually my first racket sport. Because I played this when I was a kid. Yeah, I played when I was a kid. So I quit this sport actually to play table tennis. Yeah. So I stopped playing completely. And then I came back. But table tennis helps me in this sport so much.
Yeah,
because I see the ball quicker than everybody. Yeah. And my hand at the net is faster than pretty much everyone who plays the sport. And it's just from and I can do a lot of short drop shots. Yeah. And all this comes from table tennis.
Yeah. No, that's good. One question that I actually wanted to ask you is that so I just wanted to get your opinion on this because it's quite interesting. Yeah. America's so big and it's got a huge population, but they probably under-index in how many world-class table tennis players they've got. And I've been over to the USA and I've been to some of the clubs in like Florida, and the sponsors and all the clubs are doing pretty well from like sponsorship and they're self-sufficient. So in your opinion, why haven't the USA competed on that world stage in like top 50?
Well, I mean now it's stepping up a little bit. Like Kanak Ja is playing really well.
Yeah, he is.
Lily Zhang is playing really well. Yeah. But the thing is, what the problem is? The problem is, in my opinion, is the association sucks.
Okay.
It's bad. All these, like I went out there. I've trained in China. I've trained with Korean national team. I've trained in Germany. I've trained everywhere. But that's because I made that happen for myself.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
The association needs to make it happen for all these juniors. Like all these juniors need to get out of here. You can't get better here.
But why is that? Is that a funding problem, or is that opportunity? Or
you know what? Honestly, it's a funding problem. Probably the first thing of it. But in my opinion, it's them being okay with the way things are and not being aggressive in getting their sponsorships. I mean, ever since I've played this sport, I've had a sponsor.
Yeah.
Ever since. Any sport I've ever played, I've had a sponsor. Paddle tennis, I have 4 sponsors. So how can me, an individual, individuals to get sponsorship is really difficult.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Non-profit organization, it's the easiest thing.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I don't think that they're working hard enough.
Yeah.
I don't think they're putting that extra. They're doing what they can and that's it. But they need to put that, like, for example, I remember some years ago, they were boasting, and they had it in a picture and video, we met Bill Gates. And the first thing in my mind, they had pictures with Bill Gates. And at the time, Ariel was playing.
Yes, yeah.
And they had pictures and all this stuff with Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, right? And the first thing I said is, who gives a F? How much money did you get for them to make the sport better in this country?
Yeah.
0. Warren Buffett could change the sport in a second.
No,
right?
100%. I think it's difficult because, like, from like someone that lives in the UK, it's probably, like, in my opinion, the US, we're lucky in Europe because Europe's got a very strong base of people, so people can go across the channel and can play another.
Right.
In North America, you almost have to make that commitment to go to China or to fly over to Europe.
Yes.
Because America is not so popular. So that
exactly
more of a commitment for them to come all the way over to Europe to try and make that come true. And I guess that's a little bit difficult as well. But to flip the question, I don't know how much you know about English or UK table tennis, but you certainly know sort of the Liam Pitchfords and Paul Drinkles. What's sort of American view on how England are doing on the world stage?
I think they're great, man. I think they're really good because I just remember just matches from a lot of the different English players, which I was like, no way. I mean, the biggest no way match that I seen was what's his name? He played against the Chopper from Korea, and he almost won.
Was it Liam Pitchford, Paul Drinkle, or Sam Walker?
Paul Drinkle.
Oh, Paul Drinkle, yeah.
That was one of the matches I was like, wow. And he almost took down the Korean Chopper, man. It was nuts. And I mean, all these players, they're so good. Like they're really good, man.
And I think
I got my ass kicked by Liam Pitchford, actually.
Did you? You played him, did you?
Yeah, in the Pro Tour.
Yeah.
He wasn't nice to me neither. You should tell him. Next time you should be nice to me. Or I'm gonna kick his ass. Yeah. I played him. I played him in the Pro Tour.
Yeah. Are there any other, like, have you apart from like myself and Tom Maynard, when we had a run in with you in the China Open, have you ever met any other sort of English table tennis players?
Darius Knight.
Yeah. Okay.
That's like my little brother, man.
Yeah.
I remember the first time meeting him too. I met him in the Pro Tour, and I was like, "Oh, this motherfucker's cocky as hell, man. What does this guy think he is, man?" I was like, "Come on, man. There's only one gangster black guy in the Pro Tour. Take it easy. Take it easy." Yeah, but Darius Knight's cool. I like him. He was a cool.
No, that's good. I think overall it's pretty amazing how sort of such a small island of people. Well, I guess we've got quite a big population, but nonetheless have been able to perform at that top level. And Liam Pitchford, pushing for top 10 in the world. So it's
unbelievable
by those top guys. And then I guess the other thing, and I know we sort of touched on it. So Pro Tours, I know you did one in North Korea.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that because that is super cool and important. And I think what you did was absolutely amazing. So just talk us through that experience.
So I quickly figured out that, okay, you started this sport way too late. You can compete. Like, I could play with these great players, these good players. I can't beat them, but I can play. I can hang a little bit. So then I thought, okay, I gotta find my niche. Right? I gotta find something in this sport that's my thing. And I said, you know what? Table tennis has such a bad rep, right?
Yeah.
People think it's a sport played in the basement and it's not cool and this and that. So then I made it my life goal, and it's still my life goal, to make this sport cool. So when people see it, they're like, oh man, you know what? Table tennis or ping pong. I like the word ping pong. I know in England they don't like that word. I love that word because that word is just a much more friendly word.
Yeah.
And I want people to be like, oh, ping pong is so cool, man. You know that, and so I wanted to do a lot of different cool things with the sport. So I saw there was a tournament, Pro Tour in North Korea, and I thought, you know what, I should go do my very own historical ping pong diplomacy.
Yeah, 100%.
Because in 1971,
just tell us, for those that don't know, explain what a ping pong diplomacy is.
Oh, so in 1971, it's part of an American history. America established relations with China through ping pong. At that time, Chinese weren't even allowed to talk to Westerners. Like, it was forbidden, right? So the Chinese national team invited the American team over to play friendly matches. Yeah. And that's how we established a relation. So I wanted to do the same thing with North Korea, given how crazy America and North Korea was going against each other. And I figured I wanted to do that. So I called up and I had the team. I said, hey, I want to sign up for the Pro Tour in North Korea. And they thought I was crazy. And I was like, no, I really want to do it. Just sign me up. Like, I want to do it. Don't worry about it. I'll make everything happen for myself. You make the accreditation. I do everything. Yeah. So I try to get people in the world to go with me, like different players from around the world. Everybody was like, there's no way we're going to North Korea. And this is at a time where it was like pretty bad. But Dennis Rodman had just recently came back. So I was like, you know what? If Dennis Rodman can do it, I can do it too, man. And so everybody told me don't go. And I said, no, I'm going to go because I just want to go there. And I want to make a difference. I didn't know how I was going to make a difference. I didn't have a plan to make a difference. But the first step to making a difference is to actually being there. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I did everything. I contacted the correct people, got there, and it was really crazy. And I actually was able to make a little of a difference, right? Because you're not a pro tourist. You never know who you're gonna play, really. Yeah. And it's a possibility that I wouldn't play a North Korean, right? There weren't no Westerners, but there were Vietnamese, there were Chinese.
So there was no Europeans?
Oh, no.
Oh, well, okay.
I don't think so. Yeah, if I remember correctly. No Westerners. I mean, there could have been one girl, if I remember. I'm not sure. I think there was one girl I don't remember. But I was pretty much the only Westerner. And you never know who you're going to play, right? Yeah. But I got lucky, and I got to play a North Korean. Right. And as I was playing this match, so I still didn't understand how it was going to make a difference. I talked to my guide. We share information. Yeah. But how can I make a difference to a lot of people with no plan? Yeah. So I'm playing this match, right? And I'm pretty hot right now. And first you walk in the stadium, there's 5,000 people. It's crazy. And I'm sure the government sent them there so that it would look like it was the most amazing thing ever. So we walk in, and then, you walk in, you feel, being a black dude from America, I felt all 5,000 eyes on my body. It was the most insane feeling ever, man. I'm like, oh, shit.
I guess you're already making a difference. You're right. You're already making a difference to those people anyway, just by turning up.
Exactly. And so you're already looking at me. So I started the match. I played a North Korean guy, and North Koreans are really good. And but I was on fire, man, 5-0 up. And then and I was fighting. And then every time I made a point, the whole crowd would go, Now picture 5,000 people with this sound. It's surreal. So anyway, he'd make 1 point, and all of a sudden, whoa, man, hold on. I'm the underdog. This guy's better than me. Take it easy. And then again, then it got so loud. And I was like, wow. So then I figured out, I said, okay, this might be my chance of how I'm going to make a difference, because everyone's watching this match. Everyone, all 5,000 people. What can I do? So then they kept going louder and louder. Now, normally, I would yell out and say, why don't you shut the F up? Yeah. Right? Yeah, that'll be me. But then I was like, you know what? I got an idea. So they did it again really loud. And I couldn't concentrate and play anymore. It was crazy. Because I'd never been in that kind of... Normally, I'm the underdog. People cheer for me.
Yeah, definitely.
So I couldn't do anything. So then they made it really loud, and I looked up, right? And I just smiled, big smile, I'm like this, smiled.
Yeah.
And everyone started smiling and laughing. It was like a chain reaction. And I have all of this on video, by the way.
Yeah.
Wait,
is it on YouTube or?
I posted a very little clip of it.
Yeah.
Of it on YouTube. But so everyone starts laughing and smiling, and then I said, "That's it. This is how I'm gonna make a difference. I got it. Now I can interact with real North Koreans, not the ones that they give you to watch over you, because they're trained, real people. So then every time I would look up and smile, and then they would smile back. And now we got this connection. Now we got a connection going on. Yeah. And they're probably thinking, all right, this black dude looks like an alien from somewhere, but he seems safe and cool, right? So I'm like, all right, this is nice. So I look up, they smile. Look up, they smile. Then at the end, he makes a great shot wide to my forehand. I miss. Game's over. We go to shake hands, right? So he comes to shake my hand. Yeah. And my camera's facing his face. And as he shakes my hand, he's not trying to shake my hand because Westerners are the devil. So he's trying to do one of those those little touch hands, right? So you can tell he doesn't want to shake my hand. Yeah. I grab his hand, I pull him in, and give him a big hug, bear hug. And
how was it received? Nuts. Oh, everyone was loving it.
People went nuts. But the best thing about it is my camera, because it's in my corner, is facing his face. His face at first was like, and then he smiled. Yeah, and that's what I wanted. Listen, that's what I wanted. That's what I went all the way to North Korea to get, was that genuine smile. You can't fake that. That's not a fake smile, because he could probably be killed for smiling that I hugged him. I know, yeah. Right? Yeah, definitely. So that was a genuine smile, man. And that was like, that made it so much amazing. Having the crowd, and people clap, people cheering. And that was the difference I want to make. And
100%.
It may be a small difference, but for the rest of those 5,000 people's lives, they'll remember that black dude with the crazy hair from New York City gave this guy a hug, which he's never had in his life from someone. Yeah.
No, I mean that is amazing, and for I think that's great. Like, it's a crazy story. But for the rest of the trip, like the whole trip, were you received well? Like, was it like, were you treated well? Was it?
Yeah, because the guides, they take care of you. I mean, it's a very high stress being there. So like, if you're a person that doesn't adapt well to different situations, you should never go there. Because there's only one situation, and that's being cut off from the rest of the world. So you have no cell phone service. Westerners don't get Wi-Fi. Only people who get Wi-Fi are Chinese citizens. So you don't get Wi-Fi. No cell phone service, no Wi-Fi. You're cut off from the rest of the world.
So you weren't able to, I mean, could you call landline to another?
No, zero.
Wow, okay.
Zero. And also, when they check into a hotel, they take your passport. Okay. You don't get that passport back until you're on the other side of immigration, getting ready to get on your flight. Yeah. So it's a bit tense. It's really, it's something that if you can deal with it, it's fine. Like for me, I went alone, so it's a little harder for me. If I went with a team or with someone else, I have someone else to always talk to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
How long were you anyone?
Originally, I was supposed to be there for, I think it was 10 days or 8 days, something like that. Okay. But on the fourth day, I think the fourth or third day, I already lost my last match. Yeah. And then I really wanted to get out of there because I needed to get. It was just really stressful for me. And I wasn't interested in any of the tour stuff because I did a lot of research before I went there. So all that stuff I've seen already. I knew everything about it.
Was it a beautiful country, like a nice tourist destination, or?
It was surreal. Like it was very grayish and blackish.
Were you allowed to talk to any? Like, were you allowed to talk to sort of anyone on the street?
No, you won't get a chance to talk to anyone on the street because you can't be on the street.
Yeah.
You're confined to your hotel. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
And that's where you are. The guy will pick you up, take you to the practice hall, take you to the tournament hall, back to the practice hall, back to the hotel. So you'll never ever. It'd be very difficult for you to talk to some random person Anyone you're talking to are people who are trained to talk to you. Yeah.
Excellent. I mean, what a surreal experience, but a great one nonetheless. And then I guess the other thing I wanted to talk about was New York is definitely one of the biggest tourist destinations for most people in the UK, and most people will hopefully want to go there at least once in their life. And I'm still yet to go. But I know for a fact that as soon as I get there, I definitely want to experience the nightclub of the top that you're wearing, which is Spin New York. Because a lot of people know Bounce, but they don't understand where
Bounce came from.
Originated.
They stole our idea. But I like those guys though. The guys at Bounce are actually pretty cool people. But so we created this business. We called it Spin.
Was this during your Pro Tour career, or was this like prior to it?
This was actually after. Pretty much after, because we opened up about 10 and a half years ago. And the way we started this business is we used to have a ping pong party. We had tables in our loft apartment, and we invited people over. At first it was just bring your friends over. If you have a ping pong table in your house, bring your friends over, let's hang out, play ping pong and drink and have fun. And our parties got really big to where we made a website. We called it Naked Ping Pong. And the word naked was the kind of state of mind that we were in, which meant like, let's just have fun, man. No racism. No, I don't care if you're gay or black or orange. Nobody cares. Let's just play ping pong. Let's have fun over some ping pong, right? And our party got really big, and we made this website. Website started getting a lot of hits. We started getting a lot of people, to the point where we have lines around the apartment. We got sponsors like Red Bull sponsors.
Oh, wow.
So many alcohol companies were giving us free product. They were like, well, we can't give you any money, but we'll give you free product. Hell yeah. Free vodka, bottles of vodka, unlimited, and beers. So then we were like, all right, how can we make money from this? All right, we got it. Let's make a tournament, right? And we charge $20 entry as a tournament. And for $20, you get free drinks all night long. Wow. Because we got it free. So, and you can't sell alcohol in an apartment. It's illegal.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can't sell it, but you can give it away. So we charge $20 entry, and you come play this tournament, and you get unlimited drinks. This is the spot now, and we did it at a time it's around 7 p.m., right? 7 p.m. is it pre-gaming, So you go there from 7 to about 10 or 11, and now you're ready to go out. You've already pre-gamed, you had your drinks in you. Now you can go out and party without spending a lot of money. So it got really big. Then we started doing events like NBA halftime shows. We hosted the actual Super Bowl party when it was in Arizona with 50 Cent, the rapper 50 Cent, and Vitamin Energy. So we got really big. We met the actress Susan Sarandon along the way. And eventually the party, all good things come to an end. And we wanted to take it to another level. We came up with a business plan, gave it to Susan Sarandon, and she helped us get our first location, which is in 23rd Park Avenue, New York City. And that's how it started, man.
That's definitely one of the best, one of the most well-known, and one of the first, if not the first, table tennis clubs. And I guess, and I've seen other videos as well on YouTube and stuff with, you run tournaments now, is like that's the current setup as well. And I know you play you get celebrities to come in, and you play them with your phone and
cell phone, man.
That you've got.
Yeah, I play them with the always with the cell phone, man. Because you know what it is, like a lot of people think, oh, he's just showing off with the cell phone. It is not even showing off. That's not even the case. It's showing you how difficult this sport is. People, see, what happens is there's a lot of haters, and they don't understand the bigger picture. And it's all about the bigger picture. And most people don't get the bigger picture, right? It's not about showing off how good I am. It's about me kicking your ass and you understanding that how difficult this sport is. If I can beat you with my cell phone, imagine what I'll do you with my paddle, right? So people start to get it, and they're like, oh, man, I just got smoked by a guy with a cell phone. And then they understand that, oh man, this sport is really difficult. And that's why I use a cell phone a lot.
Who's the most famous people you've got to come to the club?
Oh my God, everybody's been there. I remember, we used to do this show, and we still do it. Well, when we're gonna open up again, every Friday night we have a show. And the reason why we have this show is so, our club has a bar, restaurant, DJs come in, partying, hot girls, hot guys, whatever. And but what we didn't want to do was we didn't want to take away from the real sport, right? So we wanted to make it fun. We wanted to make it entertaining. We wanted to make it party-ish, but we also wanted to keep the real sport. So every Friday night we do this tournament, right? It's called Players Night. And I have pros, like real pros, play for money. So that way people come and watch. And then they say, oh my God, this is how this is on a Friday night where it's popping. And we have a center court. And this center court is for that. I'm on the mic, so I MC the whole thing. Right? And people come and they're like, oh my God, this is insane. This is crazy. This is what ping pong is, right? So, so that's what those parties, the Friday night thing is. And yeah, that's how we do it.
Is it just still the one unit, or have you expanded?
No, we have 10 locations now.
Oh wow, okay. All in New York?
No. Only we have 2 in New York. Now, and we have the other ones, one in Toronto and the rest across the country.
Wow. Okay.
Actually, it's funny. I'll tell you another funny bounce story.
Yeah. So how did with the bounce?
They followed us to Chicago, man.
Wait. So with the bounce thing, did they ever? So did you know that they were going to set up in the UK? Did they ever interview you and say how do you do this? We want to.
No. I didn't know about it. Maybe the other guys may have known, but I'm not sure. The way I knew about it was someone say, hey, you guys have another spin in English? I was like, no. What are you talking about? And it was like, yeah, there's and then we heard bounce like this. Yeah. And then, I spoke to those guys once before, and they seem cool. They're pretty cool. Yeah. And but they followed us to Chicago, so we opened up in Chicago. There's a bounce in Chicago too. It's not far from us either.
You should do a spin versus bounce tournament.
Yeah. But you know what? Me personally, like I said, my thing is the bigger picture, right? The smaller picture is, these guys are copying our shit or blah, blah, blah. That's the smaller picture. Yeah. The bigger picture is that they're promoting the sport and making it cool. And that's what I'm about, man. 100%. Promote the sport, make it cool. I don't care who does it, but promote the sport, make it cool. And that when people go, people see the sport, they're like, oh man, this sport is fun. Yeah, this is a fun. It can be fun. The problem with the sport before was that before we started this thing was that it wasn't fun for people who didn't play it. Yeah, exactly. Right? People who don't know about it, it's not fun to go to a ping pong club. Yeah, they're like, what is this? But when you start introducing some fun aspects, entertainment value, now people can come have fun. And at the same time, you have a night where there's some real deal bangers and they say, oh my God, this is the real sport. And then that's how you get more people into playing to the sport through the entertainment value.
100%. Well, I guess a question is, have you ever heard of the World Championships of Ping Pong, which is
the hardback thing, right?
Yeah, the hardback thing.
No, sandpaper. I think it's sandpaper.
Sandpaper. Yeah, sandpaper. Have you seen any clips on YouTube, or do you know of it?
Yes. So the first one that was ever attempted,
was in Vegas, right?
Well, before they started the sandpaper thing, in Vegas.
Yeah.
I was part of that. I was actually a paid player from Bud Light. So we weren't allowed to win, actually. They wouldn't allow us to win, but we got a paid for it. And that was the first attempt of doing this hardback thing. And then the World Champions of Ping Pong came and took it over and just took it to a whole nother level. Because
I guess, look, honestly, the way, so do you play sort of with your phone, with your, with a hard, whatever, and also you like to you like the crowd, you like high intensity.
Oh yeah, I love that stuff, man.
I feel like the World Championships of Ping Pong is something that is completely
But honestly, they use
I reckon you could definitely qualify through the US and come over to the Alexandra Palace.
I should.
everyone would love it.
I should go for it. Yeah, it's such a fun. Like I've seen some matches on it, and it's cool, man. I'm like, how are these guys spinning the ball on the table like this, man?
Yeah.
And honestly, long rallies, and that's what's good for the sport.
Yeah,
there's a lot of long rallies going on.
And in the UK, the main problem we've got is probably like TV time. And the World Championships of Ping Pong is one of the only times in the year where it's on sort of like prime Sky Sports, and lots of people watch it. But honestly, I think when
But you know why though, right? Because that has entertainment value. There's entertainment value, and not only there's entertainment value, the average person can understand what's going on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
right.
The rallies are longer, and exactly. You don't have to. You take the spin, which is the most complicated bit of it, out of it. But honestly, the next time you should seriously look into that.
Yeah. I should do that.
You need to sign a form or play one or two matches to qualify, and then because in the UK, because it's so popular now, it is very hard to qualify. But coming from the UK, put you on centre court, you got thousands of people watching on TV, plus 1,000 or two there watching, and I think
that's nuts.
Great. So definitely look into that. And then I guess the last question I had was, what is next for Wally Green? So you've had sort of the Pro Tour bit, you set up the nightclub. I guess, is it now, are you an ambassador for sort of helping people sort of get off the streets and getting into the sport, or is that something you'd like to do, or what's next?
Yeah. So, I mean, right now, I'm working on my documentary, the North Korea documentary. So I'm working on that. We made a documentary. I don't know if you saw it. It's called, I'll send it to you. We made this documentary 2 years ago, almost two years ago, and we almost got to the Oscars for it. And it was very close. And it's about these two ping pong tables that we put in Bryant Park. So Bryant Park's in the middle of Times Square, and we put two ping pong tables there as a marketing tool for when we were first opening up Spin.
Yeah.
Right? And these two ping pong tables formed a community of the most amazing people who would never in a million years come together and meet.
Yeah.
But they do every day over table tennis.
Yeah.
And that's what this documentary is about. And I'm also one of the lead people, and this homeless guy is one of the lead people. And it's a very deep story, New York story, of how something so simple as a ping pong table can change people's lives and bring people together. Yeah.
And I guess for anyone that's watching this, either I guess in the US but also in the UK, who sort of had a similar upbringing, I guess, to maybe yourself, and sort of has just got into table tennis, what would you say to them in in using table tennis to leverage that and have a better life? What's your sort of message to those people? Because you're the living proof it can be done.
Say again? You're
the living proof that you've done it.
Yeah, man. I say the thing is you got to always keep your options open and never and I mean this is the biggest thing, like never give up, man. You got to keep going. I can't begin to tell you how many Pro Tour matches I've lost, one after another, right? You just got to keep going, man. You got to do it because you love it.
Yeah.
Right? I do it. I play table tennis, ping pong, whatever you want to call it. I do it because I genuinely love it. I love what I do. I can lose 10,000 matches, and I'm still going to fight so hard in the 10,001st match because I love it. So you got to do it because you love it. And that's the biggest thing. If you love it, everything else will come into place.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, thanks for sort of coming on and sharing your story and all these amazing stories with
yeah, man, definitely.
I definitely want to raise, I want to raise your profile in the UK because I think it's important for people to know. So
I gotta come out there. I've never been to the UK. How crazy is that?
You not? Oh my gosh! You
have to. I've been to all these countries where they don't speak no English, and I'm always saying, God damn, nobody speaks English here. I'm always tight. The country that does speak English, I haven't been there yet. Isn't that
you have to make it into a holiday as well if you ever come over to play the World Championships of Ping Pong, because honestly, it'd be one of the best weeks of your sort of table tennis career.
Yeah, I got to do it. Definitely. For sure.
Anyway, thanks a lot. I'll stop the live stream now, so thanks for everyone that's watching. Good night.